and welcome back to Animaechan. Today we are doing the 5th ever anime podcast where we talk about anime from this week. Choose a few topics actually because otherwise it gets too long. Today's topics that I've chosen, if we digress it's fine, if we talk about a few other things in between it's fine, but I really want to talk about the Quintessential Quintuplets finale, the Promised Neverland finale, and then I want to watch the Dororo second half trailer and talk about Dororo a bit, because I am, as I've mentioned before, trying to write a blog that kind of just puts my thoughts about it in words, because sometimes I don't get it out properly, and I thought talking to you guys may help me to write the blog better. So let's start talking about Quintessential Quintuplets. Who in the chat actually watches Quintessential watched Quintessential Quintuplets and finished it this week? I watched it on Twitch live with you guys in Rabbit or with a timer. I remember first let me say, I wasn't going to watch this. It was one of those, not as popular anime, and I tried to focus on the first 20 that are on the live charts, and then I choose a few to watch based on what I like and whatever. And I think Quintessential Quintuplets was really low, so I don't even remember reading about it or anything. I remember reading about Domestic Girlfriend. I do remember reading about it, but it was really low. I remember now. Okay, but anyway, so Matty actually told me, I think you should watch it. And then I watched it and I got obsessed with it, and I've read the manga up until the latest chapter, and yeah, I finished the final episode this week. Let's see, Vic watches... Oh, Vic, I'm so glad you're still here. Even though I told you I didn't like your anime that you loved. Matty says me. Jacob says, I can't even stay for this podcast. I haven't seen anything, rip me. Jacob, why are you doing so much schoolwork and not watching more anime? Adam says yes. Third says me, and Mike says I did with you. Das Eat says not me, and Chase says hello. Okay, so let's talk about the finale. What happened in the finale? It was basically like I think a 2-part or a 3-part episode where they went to like a ski resort, which is a common theme in anime. Not because, like, it's not repetitive in a negative way, like, oh, a beach scene, or like it actually happens in real life. I know people that often go skiing and stuff from there, and school trips do things like that. So it's very realistic, which I enjoy because I like seeing how another culture, like what is normal for them, If for example an anime took place in South Africa, they would never go skiing. They would go to the beach a lot, but yeah, I just like seeing the little hints like that at what other people live like in other countries and stuff. So it's very cool because I've never seen snow, just by the way. So I really enjoy the whole school trip idea. And Uesugi or Futaro was actually sick for the whole time he was there. I think maybe they gave a few hints, but I don't remember seeing it until the end when Yotsuba pointed it out. Because of you got me into watching it after we all started watching it together on Rabbit. Did you like it though? It is a very it's a harem, so it's got a lot of cliches, but I find the characters so endearing that, and even, I mean, I haven't watched a lot of harem, so it never felt to me like I was, in a, like, it was repetitive or it was cliche. So, because I don't remember, I haven't seen a lot of harem anime. A few. I remember watching High School DxD, but for me, Quintessential was really special especially with the characters and especially with the MC. Whenever I have watched harem, the MCs can usually really irritate me because I don't know how to explain it, but Futaro is actually like a really great character, so I really enjoyed watching an anime and a harem with a great MC. I think think his adrenaline and excitement to experience having fun with the girls kept him going. Yes, definitely. Yeah, his sister, I think he got his sickness from his sister, and then I made Ichika sick. Lex, okay, first the most important question that I just totally missed. Who's your favorite girl? I'm gonna just give a list of mine. Oopsies. And mine is not what most people's are. I actually did this thing where I said if I had 100 best girl points, how would I distribute them between the 5 girls? And since I read the manga, obviously it might be a little bit influenced by it, but not that much. So I gave Nino 30 points, Itsuki 30 points, Miku 20 points, Yotsuba 15 points, and Ichika 5. I think that by reading the manga, whose points were influenced the most by reading the manga was definitely Ichika. So I think that's the only reason she's so low. I mean she's nice and everything, but I'm not the biggest Ichika fan. Yotsuba, I really love Yotsuba, her personality, but I don't see her as fitting with Futaro. Whereas Nino and Itsuki, I really see them, Itsuki the most, she fits with Futaro perfectly. Nino, I'm biased because I personally love Nino the most. And then Itsuki, but Itsuki is a little bit less, I'm less biased about her, I think. Miku, I love Miku, but yeah, I love the others more, that's all. And then I still think Miku would fit with Futaro a little bit, but I think he needs a girl that's a little bit more upfront and a little bit more, I don't know, not upfront, and not confident, but straightforward, strong. Miku is very meek. Miku, she's very meek, and I don't think that's necessarily the best partner for Futaro. Dr. Leviathan says a lot of harem protagonists are just blank slates because it's just a conduit for the audience's wish fulfillment. Ah, yes, but he's got so much drive, and he really wants to study, and we don't know yet why he's so obsessed with studying. Obviously, well, we know a little bit. We know that he wanted to impress this girl, but we didn't find out who the girl is, and yeah, there's still a whole lot of things that were left unfulfilled, but not in a bad way, because I mean it's only the first season. We made a lot of progress, but I definitely see that there has to be a season 2, but I don't know if it will get a season 2. What do you guys think? Do you think it'll get a season 2? Helix says Miku is his best girl. Hi Helix, by the way. Matty says Yotsuba's best girl, Ichika's waifu. Oh, Vic says Ichika's a piece of shit. Miku best girl, Nino best waifu. Wow. Jacob says we stand Nino West. Nino West? Oh, Nino West. Drag Race joke. Okay, Matty, I get what you're saying. Matty says Futaro needs someone fun like Yotsuba. Dr. Leviathan says, yeah, he's an actual character with personality. And yeah, he's definitely, I feel like he's got such a strong character. So it's like most harem is about, you know, like you said, wish fulfillment for the audience is about the girls, and the MC is almost this blank person, blank slate, because you're supposed to be able to put yourself in the MC's position, like you're the MC and like this is happening to you, like this is your harem. And the focus is always more on the girls, but in this case, I feel like Futaro's personality and character is just as strong as the 5 girls. So I really like that. He's not necessarily the most relatable character, but that's fine, because in that way you learn more about him, you know? TW says Miku, because she's more relatable to me. Carnunan says everybody has different opinions, but everyone is wrong. What is that about? Groan says season 2 would be nice. I would love a season 2. Since I've read the manga, I know that a season 2 would be better than season 1, because it gets much deeper. and not necessarily deep sad or deep. It's not heavier, but it's just you get a little bit more information, details, and the storyline is less harem-y and more. Well, yeah, there's still the harem aspect, but I just mean it's not as harem-y as it is an actual story, you know? Bye, Jacob. Good luck with your coursework. Futaro is denser than a fucking diamond. I don't think he's really dense. I feel like the girls can if you call Futaro dense, you might as well call the girls dense, because they are, especially Miku at this point, since she's the only one that really has come out and said she liked him, not to his face, but she, like I said, she's very meek. I mean, I wouldn't, if a guy has, if I've never dated someone in my life, I probably wouldn't notice that she liked me either, because, you know, she's so, they're so roundabout about everything, you know? But yeah, I think they've all had moments with Futaro, but at this point, none of them really like him except Miku. So, did I just call her Miko? No, I don't know. But yeah, so I don't really see Futaro as dense as of right now, because no one has really said or done anything. And usually in harem, the girls literally try and kiss him and stuff, and like confess to him, but then he doesn't hear it or stuff like that. It's really avoiding the whole thing, or those MCs are really dense. Futaro, I think I give him more the benefit of the doubt, because none of them have actually even really started to like him at this point, and he's also so obsessed with just getting them to pass. He hasn't really gotten to know them as people yet, which is more apparent in the manga. I think he started to get to know them, obviously, but I think his whole focus is on studying right now and just getting them to pass. Oh, Dr. Leviathan says, the main character being dense is the only thing that separates the harem genre from the hentai genre. Yeah, because in hentai, he knows and he takes advantage of it. But also, in hentai, the girls are very slutty. In the anime, of course, it's hard for me to talk about the anime when I'm all caught up in the manga. Yeah, I'm all caught up with the manga too. But I still don't see, I've never seen him as dense. Especially because of how deep the story kind of gets. It's like, yeah, but I don't want to talk about the manga because not everyone reads the manga. But yeah, let me just conclusively, I still don't really see him as dense. Like, when things happen, he does notice and he does try, and what else? How else can I put it? And with everything that's happening around them, I barely think that there's any opportunity for romance at this point, you know? But that's just my opinion. Let's quickly see. Score-wise, I ended up on an 8.8. The story in the anime, so this is my literal points of the anime, not the manga. The manga is, my score for the manga is a lot different. The story is a 7, the characters are 10. Visuals are 8. There were some really nice visuals throughout. Better than I expected, especially from early days. Audio 9. I think I could do the audio 9, or I think I'm gonna make the audio 8. I think that's a bit more fair for me anyway. And enjoyment 10. So overall score 8.6. That's what I'm gonna leave it on. Then manga. The manga is actually a 9.5 for me. Story is at a 9. Characters 10. Visuals 9. Audio is a 0, so it doesn't influence, because there's no audio in a manga, so it doesn't influence my overall score. And enjoyment 10. So yeah, obviously the manga is a lot better for me than the anime. I think it's brilliant. I love it so much. Visuals, even like the visuals are a 9, but yeah, 9 is fair. But it's really, I love it so much. The only other manga that has a 9.5 for me is Nana, but that fucking never ends, because the mangaka has been on hiatus for like forever. Where is Oran? Oh, Oran is under completed. Oh, that's why. Oran is also a 9.5 for me. So those are the only three. Nana is never going to move over to completed because it's never going to be... Can't they just say it's completed? That's the end. Imagine the rest for yourself. Just end it. Yeah. My favorite moment is when he's laying down feeling sick in like episode 4 and Yotsuba gets real close and says, I like you. Oh, and then she says, oof. Oh, and then she says, she's joking or she's lying. Which I think she may not have been lying, but if she does like him, it's in a way that she doesn't even know it yet. Like, she is the, like, how, you know how MCs are usually dense in these anime? Like, she is just as dense as the MC would be about her own feelings at this point, because, and once again, it's better explained in the manga or better hinted at, Yotsuba is so concerned with others, she doesn't even know what she herself likes yet, you know? She, for example, she would be able to tell you all of her sister's favorite drinks, but she wouldn't necessarily like know her own like that. Something like that. I'm trying to just give an example. Otaku Master says it's completed. What's completed? Yeah. I don't get why Futaro lied to Nina about him being Kintaro the second time when they were alone. I know that's gonna come back to screw him later on. I think he's scared of Nina because she's the most difficult twin to get on his side. So I think once the mistake was made, he was terrified of telling her and coming out with it, because I think his in his mind the choices were either, you know, come out and tell her and then she hates me for the rest of my life and I'll never get her to study because she already almost hates me. And on the other side, he could just fake it and then the guy could just disappear and she'd never find out and then she'd never hate him. I don't know, maybe that's... Yotsuba will swoop in and win this and I will love it. Thread says, I say this again because maybe you didn't read it. Nina is not the girl because she doesn't remember Futaro in the past. Yeah, I don't think Nina is the girl. I actually tweeted a few thoughts on it. Let me try and find it. Well, let me do it here so that you guys can actually see me try and find it. It's here in moments. I hope I made a moment. Promise Neverland, ReZero. Aha, Quintessential Quintuplets. So here are some of my tweets. Somewhere here I said, like, look, it's really, like, the visuals are really, really nice in the manga. I think it's really nice. Look at that. Ooh. What am I looking for? Oh, my thoughts on here. So see, I think I tweeted about it. I said the girl in the photo definitely isn't Miku. It isn't. This can't be Miku because Miku is too shy. Miku is like, you know, I put her name here. This is who I think they are. They all make the peace sign, so that's not a hint at anything. But Miku, you see how obviously this is just my guess at who's who, but I think Miku looks too shy to be that girl. So it's either Itsuki or Yotsuba. Or maybe Ichika. But it's definitely, I don't think it's Nina and I don't think it's Miku. The girl in the photo definitely isn't Miku and I don't think it's Itsuki. She's too prim and proper. But I think it is. It might be Itsuki because if you look here, Nina doesn't remember him and Ichika doesn't look like this in my opinion. I think it's Yotsuba or Itsuki. No, but it can't be Itsuki. Hashtag Quintessential Quintuplets. So obviously this was my thoughts before I had completed the manga. But yeah, look how, like, the visuals are really beautiful in the manga. I love it! So beautiful! Okay, this is from the anime. I loved your picture today with the Yotsuba look. Oh yes, yes. It was a Snapchat filter and it's it had the little bunny ear, so I was like, so I posted this with the caption Uesugi-san. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Next topic. Did anyone want to say your final score for the anime? Mine being 8.6. You can give it out of 10 or out of 5 or whatever you guys want. Just make sure you say out of what it is. Where? Oh, there it is. This anime is actually number 7 highest rated in 2019 so far. Number 10 most popular in 2019. The average score is 72%. And the tags are harem, male protagonist, school, primarily female cast, shonen, and tsundere. Shonen, target demographic is teenage and young adult males. You clearly don't know me, do you? Okay, so Vic says 8.3, Thread says for me it's a 9, Helix says 8.8, Grown 8.2, Dr. Leviathan 8.3, and Matty 4 out of 5. So that means an 8 out of 10, right? Well, that makes me really sad because why is the average score 72% if all of you gave it an 8 and above? Like, I thought we represented the otaku community at least to some extent. Oh my gosh, this person gave it Gage 5 out of 10. Unfollow. Unfollow, bitch. Nuh-uh. No, I'm joking. I'm not unfollowing them just because of that. I'm literally unfollowing them because I have no idea who this is. And also, they gave it a 5 out of 10. So, clearly, I don't know why I'm following you. I don't know what, we don't have the same taste here, dude. But I have no idea who that is. Con has completed the anime, but hasn't scored it. And Alabama Llama is currently watching it still. So, probably hasn't finished it. The scoring is always a balance of enjoyment and objective quality. If they gave Dororo a 5 out of 10, Katie would hunt them down. Hunt them down, though. No. I guess, like, yeah, probably if I didn't know them, I would be like, unfollow. Like, clearly you don't have taste in anime. But if I know someone, like, let's say Vic saying, I don't like The Promised Neverland. Vic never, for example, I'm just using Vic as an example, never bashes the anime, just says, like, I don't like it for these reasons. For me, that's a little bit different than, like, just saying, it's a pure shit anime and it's so blah, 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 blah. Like, if you state the reasons, then I'm fine and I can understand it because people are allowed to have different opinions. But I will admit, Dororo is the most difficult one for me at this point. Although I think I'm better now than I was a couple of weeks ago. Hi, Jamie. Jamie, tonight we're talking about anime, a lot of anime. But you're welcome to stay. I just know that you might be spoiled on a few things that maybe you'd want to watch in the future. I hope she doesn't see my score on The Promised Neverland. Okay, well, that's the next topic. So, next topic is The Promised Neverland finale. What did you guys think about it? Vic, feel free to tell me why you didn't enjoy it. Honestly, I'm not bothered. For me, obviously, it was brilliant. So, I absolutely loved the anime. ViktheOne. Well, I'm just going to go like this. I'm just going to go to my notifications because I think... There you go. I knew I'd find you. Love is war. Love is war. Love is war. Oopsie, I didn't want to like my own thing. I wanted to click on your picture. There we go. Okay, Vic, let's judge your taste in anime. Well, you rated Dororo an 8.6, so that gives me some points. That's some points, yeah. Good. Bakemonogatari, I haven't watched that yet, so that seems to be your highest rated anime so far. Ooh, wow, you're not even done with it yet, and it's so... Oh, it's on your watching list, of course. Rising of the Shield Hero, that's quite a high score, that's good. Tanya has a high score, that's good. It seems like we've got pretty much similar taste. ReZero, your highest scored anime, same taste as me. Kaguya-sama, Love is War, 9, not so much. Violet Evergarden, okay, let's see if I can find... What am I looking for again? The Promised Neverland. The Promised Neverland. I'm just gonna go straight down. Let's just start at the bottom. Ah, domestic girlfriend to 6.4. Ah, man of culture, I see. You know. I'm joking. I don't see it. Did you not? Did you drop it? Wait. Did you drop it? Is it not on your? I don't know where to find it. It's on paused. Oh, okay. Wait, where's paused? Aha. Okay, dropped and paused. A 5.8. That is sad. That is very, very sad. Oh, what did you drop? You dropped Boogie Pop and Others. No! That hurts more. That hurts so much. Okay, it's fine. I'm over it now. The average score is 84%, so that's not bad at all. That's a really good score. I feel like the thing that holds it back the most is the visuals. I feel like it can do a lot better in terms of visuals overall, but obviously the visuals for the finale I think were fantastic. And like, for example, the visuals here, like, and the visual art, like it's so beautiful, and I just wish that that same quality got through in the anime overall, you know. But yeah, let me ask you guys, what did you think about the Promised Neverland finale? I'm going to quickly go onto my YouTube and read a couple of comments, give some shout outs to people that commented. Switch account. That song is stuck in my head now. Here, The Promised Neverland. I thought Mama was gonna hang herself with the sheet for a split second there. I was for a full minute, I thought she was gonna commit suicide. I was like, no. And then I actually, because I was so scared for that, I actually missed the part about her pulling back the sheets and actually, you know, making it so that it's not as easy for the demons to find the kids. Vic says, Kyruin, you hate me, don't you? Only your opinions. What did they say? What opinion did you hate now? Okay, so let me read some of the comments. Stellar TV. Isabella really never had a chance. Emma was lucky to have a genius friends in Ray and Norman. She never would have been able to escape without them. I agree that they couldn't have done it without each other, and they also, like, they couldn't have done it with the other kids either. But it all started with Ray actually remembering the fact that not remembering his past or being born and stuff. You know, if Ray did not have infant amnesia, I don't know if they would have known, you know. So it all started with Ray, but then Ray started the plan, and Norman and Emma, and if it wasn't for Emma, they wouldn't have saved everyone. I already talked about a lot of this in my review of the finale here on YouTube, obviously. But one thing I'm kind of confused about is, do we know that Mama, Isabella, let's say Isabella, do we know that Isabella knew and tried to escape too? At this point, I'm not sure, because she was on the wall, but I mean, that doesn't mean necessarily she was trying to escape. I never saw her really trying to escape, right? For me, it was like she maybe was curious about the outside world or longed to be free from the orphanage, but are we sure that, you know, she knew? Hi, basically Danny, it's going good. For some reason, I thought Emma would have died. I definitely thought someone would have died in the finale, but if you think about how many people they've already lost, it's not really shocking that they gave us like a kind of a fulfilling ending, you know, without more deaths. Yeah, we didn't see a lot of the deaths. We only saw Sister Crone's death. We only saw Connie's death, and maybe Norman's. But thinking about how many siblings they've lost up until now, and how kind of obsessed Emma was with not losing anyone else, I think it's okay that no one died. You know, I didn't have to have a shocking ending where someone was died because they did leave behind Phil and the others. You know. I got no idea about that. I think she was just curious, and maybe what she saw over the wall made her question her surroundings. Yeah, see, I don't think, and this is just my opinion, I don't think she knew it because when she was ready to go with her little outfit, and I didn't feel like, I don't know, it didn't feel to me like she knew. It was like she was finding out then. Yes, Otaku Master Ray is Isabella's son because he knew he was singing the same song she was singing to him when he was in her womb. So infantile amnesia basically means that he didn't forget. He remembers at least parts of being in the womb and being born and everything. Helix says Isabella was too joyful to have known before she saw the cliff. Yeah. I think she started maybe she was curious and went up on the wall to look, and then maybe she started getting suspicious, but I don't think she really knew about the demons and stuff like Ray knew. Helix says, yes, if you remember when Grandma was talking to Sister Crone, she says it's okay if kids know the truth as long as they're under control, and she had a flashback to her telling a girl to get down off the wall. We know that girl was Isabella, so we can guess that she knew and that's why she was running. But I never saw her running. I just saw her being on top of the wall. And being on top of the wall doesn't mean that she knew. If the other lady just said, come down from the wall, don't be up there, it's dangerous. That's why I'm saying I think she was suspicious, but I still don't see her as... She never tried to escape. Not from what I've seen in the show, anyway. Otaku Master, sadly, Otaku Master says, oh, in Hello Neverland, the song was the hint, yeah, but I was really surprised how they did that. It was a total mind-blowing moment. Sadly, it wasn't mind-blowing for me because it was spoiled for me. But, yeah. Kate-san, I have to go to sleep because I have to go to work tomorrow. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for being here, ViktheOne. Sending you some love. See you next week for some more anime. Thursday to Saturday, we're gonna watch anime every night. Does anyone else think Isabella was in love with that boy in the flashback? Yes, definitely. In the same way, I talked about this a little bit, but let's think about how smart these kids are, okay? Isabella was very, very smart. And that's why she was chosen to be one of the youngest mamas ever. Or no, she was the youngest ever chosen mama. According to Sister Crone mentioned that in the anime, and I read about it again in the manga. What? She said it in the anime and I read about it again in the manga. Okay. So she was the youngest ever chosen mama. And she was a genius, is a genius. Now she's been raising these three little geniuses herself. Do you guys think how smart you are and how, let's say, because most kids start reading, I talked about this also in a review, but I want to talk about it again because I want feedback. We start reading and learning how to read at like 5 or 6 or something. If you're smart, you start reading at about 4. So they are bred to be geniuses. So do you think obviously they started reading at like 2? You know, if normal kids that are smart, they start reading at 4. So geniuses that are bred to be geniuses clearly would probably start reading at 2. So what I'm trying to say is, their mental capacity, does your IQ equal maturity? That's what I'm trying to get at. Because for me, it really looked like, and in the manga this is even more apparent, but in the episode where Norman is going away, in that episode, it just seemed to me they're so much more mature, you know? And in the manga it's even more apparent, and I'm wondering, does your IQ influence your maturity at all? And because most kids, like, even when you're little, when you're like, I don't know what age you start liking the other gender or the same gender, or what age you start liking someone in that way. I don't know what age it starts, but I'm just wondering that I think Norman's feelings for Emma were very mature feelings, and I'm just wondering, like, does your IQ influence your maturity? Whoa, from episode 3, Neverland, you knew about Ray, or you had an idea? Wow, that's amazing. Kyruin says, yes, almost certainly Isabella liked Leslie. I think the wall climb may have been to see what Leslie was going to do over the wall, but she just saw a cliff. Is the brain even capable of learning at 2? But that's my point. They were bred to be smart. Maybe you can, like, and even if it isn't, they're clearly smarter than the average kid. So that's what I'm trying to understand. I remember liking a girl friend I had at 10. I don't remember. I'm the opposite of Ray. Ray remembers shit from when he was a baby. I don't even remember shit from before I was 18. No, I'm joking. It's like, from primary school, I have like very, 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 very few memories at all from primary school. I think I may have had a boyfriend when I was in grade 4, and I don't know what age that was. How old are you in grade 4? If you go to school at 6, yeah, then I was about 10. We pretend got married in a bin. Did you get married in a bin? Otaku Master, infantile amnesia is a infantile amnesia. Childhood amnesia, also called infant amnesia, is the inability of adults to retrieve episodic memories of situations or events before the age of 2 to 4 years, as well as the period before the age of 10, of which adults retain fewer memories than might otherwise be expected to given the passage of time. So Otaku Master, I actually know someone that doesn't have this, that doesn't forget their memories from being a child. So he actually told me about how he remembers, you know how when you're like literally a newborn baby and your parents keep you in the room, he remembers his parents like sleeping together and stuff, like hearing stuff like that, because obviously they didn't know he was even aware, but he didn't forget any of that stuff. So he says he has really disturbing memories, and it's really influenced his life a lot because his parents did a lot of stuff that wouldn't be considered crazy. Like, I feel it's creepy to have sex with a baby in the room, but I mean, if the baby is in its crib and it's like a newborn, you don't expect the fucking baby to hear you having sex, but he remembers everything. He says he actually remembers some of it quite clearly. So it isn't that it's not believable, it's actually, like factual, like it is something that happens. Just like some children are born and they're just instantly, you know, you can just see they're gonna grow up to be geniuses. It's like this, I think it's like biology. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know about this stuff. What do you call it when you don't have infantile amnesia? No infantile amnesia. I want to see what it's called when you don't have it. Despite some anecdotal claims to the contrary, research suggests that people aren't able to remember their birth. The inability to remember early childhood events before the age of 3 or 4 include. So the research says that it's not really possible. But I know someone who's, well, he didn't say he remembers being born. I'm just saying he remembers the sex stuff, which is kind of sad. Ugh. But yeah, what do you call it when there's no infant? The myth of infantile amnesia. Freud famously suggested that infantile amnesia is an active suppression of early traumatic memories. However, a review of the modern cognitive literature suggests that, at least in some ways, infantile amnesia may actually be a myth. Perhaps the most intuitive explanation of infantile amnesia is simply that the infant's brain is not sufficiently developed to support episodic memory. However, substantial evidence argues against this view. For example, the same factors that affect episodic memory in adults also affect infant memory, including age, retention interval, context change, interference, study time, levels of processing, and serial position effects. These factors influence performance on a variety of infant memory tasks, including visual recognition memory, blah, 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 blah. Adult-like memories may be formed even in the womb. So, see, it's very... One article disagrees with the next. So this one says, adult-like memories may be formed even in the womb. As reviewed by Hain, 3-day-old infants were capable of distinguishing a particular passage from Dr. Seuss's Cat in the Hat that had been read to them twice daily for the last 6 weeks of gestation from similar passages, matched for word count, length, and prosody. What's more, these infants preferred the familiar passage even if spoken by someone other than their mother, strongly suggesting that they had encoded and retained a relatively high-level representation of the passage auditory content. So this article goes against what the other article said and says if a short passage from Cats in the Hat was read to them for 6 weeks, the 3-day-old infants were capable of distinguishing that particular passage. So if you think about it, if Isabella sang to Ray or hummed to Ray every single day, which I think is the case, it definitely wouldn't be hard for Ray's brain, especially considering Isabella is the smartest person ever to have been through those walls, you know? Isabella's the youngest ever mother to be chosen. So that means she's brilliant. So that means her son is more likely to be brilliant. And she sang to him every single day the same song. So it's kind of normal, not normal, it is not as difficult to believe that he remembered that song. It was kind of imprinted onto his subconscious. There are some people that remember everything that has ever happened to them. They remember life in the womb and every single moment of their life. It wouldn't be impossible for Ray to have that since it's an anime. Well, I've never heard about anyone remembering everything, but definitely there are very rare cases in the world where, you know, the norm isn't the norm. And like I said, I actually know someone who remembers things from when he was a newborn. So to me, it wasn't that hard to grasp the fact that his brain was very developed, or not very developed, like he wasn't just a brain, but I just mean, it's not that difficult for me to believe that a song that was sung over and over and over again gets imprinted into your subconscious, and then you somehow, like, even when you hear a song in the let's say you're walking through the shopping mall, you hear a song somewhere in the distance, but you're not aware of it. So later you start singing a song and you're like, why is the song stuck in my head? But it's probably because you heard it earlier, you know? Jamie says, I have a really good long-term memory. I can remember running around in my baby walker and the people who were my mom and granddad. I also remember that I was running out of the sitting room they were sitting in and down the hall. I remember the circumstances from that. I also remember standing in my cot and leaning on the rails and watching little Bo Peep with my dad tidying my toys to my right hand side. Those are just a couple, but ask me what I had for dinner a few hours ago and I'm fucked. So see, there's definitely different kinds of memory. You have long-term, short-term, I don't know, episodic. Let's see. Types of memory. Long-term memory, short-term memory, explicit memory, implicit memory, autobiographical memory, and memory and Morpheus. This is interesting. Let's see. I like stuff like this. It's very interesting. So long-term, short-term, types of long-term. So then types of long-term is explicit, implicit, autobiographical, memory, and Morpheus. So that's types of long-term. Short-term is closely related to working memory. Short-term memory is the very short time that... So your short-term memory is probably not that great, but your long-term memory is. So what... Implicit memory is a major form of long-term memory that does not require conscious thought. It allows you to do things by rote. Oh, so that's like, okay, like when you're always choose to drive one way, and then one day you're not even really thinking and your body automatically takes you that same road. It's like when your brain makes these neural pathways, and the more you walk in them, the deeper they get. Autobiographical memory. Most of us have one part of life that we remember better than others. Find out if you have a memory bump. Memory and Morpheus. Researchers have come to believe that slumber actively helps our brains consolidate what we learn and remember. Okay, this isn't really very helpful, but okay. I want to see a picture. I like pictures. Memory. Short-term, long-term. Long-term declarative, facts, events, medial temporal lobe, thalamus. So let's say memory, short-term memory. So your short-term memory is not that great. Working memory, okay, nah, I'm so confused. I can get up to there. And then sensory memory, working memory. I should study some more psychology before I try and talk about this stuff. I studied psychology for 2 3/4 years. 2 and 3, how do you say that? 2 years and 3/4. Wait, where was I now? Otaku. I've never believed that people who say I remember everything since before I was born are actually telling the truth. I think memories can be altered by dreams at a young age, and also personal accounts by individuals who were old enough to tell you what happened at that age. It's not saying that you can't remember a specific experience that occurred during your childhood before the age of 3, but I really don't see how a child before 3 can retain a song and a color and somehow intellectually connect. Well, you can't see that, but scientists have done studies and have shown obviously different results. Some show better results than others, and it's because not all of our abilities are the same. And that's just because you can't imagine that doesn't mean that others can't do it, you know? Is it reset Kayla's oh fuck. What? Is it reset Kayla's internet time? Why? Can't you see me? Did it go away? Yesterday, I think it was 2 or 3 times where my internet just disconnected. But it looks like I'm still live, so... Michael can still see me. Oh, only Matty's page froze. Jamie says, I'm quite paranoid about the tick my cat had. I think I'll wash my hands again. That's random. Hyperthymesia is the condition where people actually remember everything. It is real, but a lot of people are probably dreaming. Hyperthymesia. Let's Google that. Hyperthymesia. Hyperthymesia, also known as piking or hyperthymetic syndrome, is a condition in which an individual possesses a superior autobiographical memory, meaning he or she can recall the vast majority of personal experience and events in his or her life. Oh, so that is like how most of us can only remember peaks in your life, like me. I can literally remember only some parts of my life. And then others can just, their memory or a part of their brain is just different than ours. So it's like thinking, like, I cannot for a fuck imagine, how can you have a photographic memory? How can you look at a fucking page, close the book, and then you know everything? What the fuck? How can you just see in your mind the picture and then go to that part and you can read the whole page without looking? Fucking sounds ridiculous to me, but it's a thing. There are people with actual photographic memory. Like, to me it seems impossible, but just because I think it's impossible doesn't mean it's not possible, you know? So yeah, my final score of The Promised Neverland was 9.2. I think the story was brilliant. The premise of it, everything is brilliant for me, and how it's carried out and how it progressed. Like I said, episode 1 to 3 were brilliant. Episode 4, 5, 6, and 7 were slower but not bad. Episode 8 to 12, brilliantest. Amazing. Okay. Characters, excuse me, 9. Especially at the, like, they made me feel so many things about so many of these characters. I love when obviously when you start watching an anime, you have instant favorites. But I love when an anime can make me see and appreciate the others for who they are as well. And then, in the case of Isabella, literally change my whole opinion from start to finish. You know, they can literally flip my thoughts on a character. And I think it was brilliant the way that they portrayed these characters, the way, how individualistic, especially the main characters are. And I think it was great. Visuals, I gave it a 7. Because obviously it was good, but it wasn't great. I think they could have done better with some of it, like audio 10. I love the voice acting so much. Love the opening and closing song. And enjoyment 10. So yeah, overall 9.2 from me. The Promised Neverland score for me 8.5. It was really good, had some odd moments, but overall I loved it. Don't forget to add the second season to your planning list on AniList. Lol. Oh my gosh, it's already out. Sequel, second season. I don't know if I should add it right now. I mean, obviously I'm gonna watch it, but then I'm unnecessarily making my planning list full. Helix, Robin, Valentina, and Nemsrose already have it on planning. I might as well put it on planning. There we go. Neverlet says, I give it a 9.5 to 10 out of 10. Wow, that's great, Neverlet. Nev, have you read the manga by any chance? I started reading it. I'm currently, I'm not going to read further than where the anime ended. I'm definitely not going to read further than the anime ended. But I did want to, because I feel like you definitely get a deeper understanding of the story when you read the manga, and especially with this anime, I feel like they changed very slightly. Like, it doesn't influence the story as a whole, but it does influence my opinion on some of the characters and the progression of the story. So I'm right about here, more or less, where Sister Crone is asking them to work with her. What is number 1 most popular in 2020? Oh, slime, yeah. And then third is the Order a Rabbit. Fourth is Bang Dream. Yeah. Yeah, Nev, it's definitely, I mean, if you don't have the time, then that's fine. But, because you're not going to get really any new information. But if you really love the anime that much, maybe one day you could just read through the first few chapters, because it really gives you a deeper understanding of the characters. Okay, so the next anime that I want to talk about is Dororo. I am going to watch the second part trailer, but I quickly want to just go throw this away, and I want to use the bathroom, and I want to pee real quick. I don't like holding it in, it's not healthy. Manga can be read faster than watching anime in the same time. The only thing that takes a while is how many chapters there are. I understand Neverlet though. I understand Nev. For me, what I like about manga is I can read a few pages, put it down, and do something else, and then read a few pages, put it down, and do something else. Like, sometimes when I'm like waiting for a video to export, it's easy for me to read a few pages and then keep editing the next video or whatever. Whereas with an anime, it's not as fun for me to pause and go back and watch, you know. So for me, I read manga when I have like literally 5 to 10 minutes to spare. I can read a few pages. I will move away if you will say spoilers, because I want to watch it later. Dororo, I mean. You will have to, yeah, you'll have to maybe come back, because I want to watch the second half trailer. But if you guys want, you can talk about something I may not talk about in this stream. For now, talk about whatever you guys want in the chat, actually. I'm quickly going to go to the bathroom. Talk about slime. Talk about what else? Domestic Girlfriend. Who actually watched the finale? You guys don't have to worry about spoiling me. What do you guys think about the Domestic Girlfriend finale? I actually wish that I could... how can I add the chat? Image, browser source, image, slideshow, display, widgets, alert box, viewer count, stream boss, bit goal, sponsor banner, credit, donate, chat box. Woof for the bat. Okay, wait. I want to, I wish you could, because I want to see if they can get the chat on stream. Why does it keep moving? Stop it. Why does it not pop up? Why does the chat not pop up? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this here. So you guys can talk about domestic girlfriend and whatnot. And whatever you want. I'm gonna go and then I'll be right back. But only, Matty, delete any messages. Please mod any other mods that are here. Just don't let any crazy shit go on. I don't know. Okay, I'll be right back, okay? I'm back. Did you guys make a lot of trouble while I was gone? Matty screaming, I am in charge here. Otaku Master, I love you, YouTube. Adam says it was terrible. I was so angry. What happened? Did you see the... Oh, did you see the One Piece episode? Alright. Well, you don't have to worry about spoiling me because by the time I get to that episode, I will have forgotten the spoiler. Himi got his messages muted again. Really? Muted? Can you mute someone? I don't see it. Oh. Oh, wow. Matty deleted homie's message. Okay. We had cyber sex. I mean, we talked about domestic girlfriends. So yeah, we had cyber sex. Okay, but thank you, Matty, for holding the fort. I am back now. Let's watch the Dororo trailer. I'm gonna leave the messages up for a bit. I spent my time finding combinations of arms and faces using emotes. It was time well spent. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same that I did. By the way, Kayla, I can't delete messages from the screen. Oh, really? It doesn't go away? Meh. That sucks. That's dangerous. What I'm gonna do is the same that I did for the I did the same for the Shield Hero second half trailer. So there's not gonna be sound. I'm gonna really fade it a lot so that you can barely see, but you will be able to kind of see. But for everyone in the chat, I'm gonna give you the link so we can play at the same time if you guys want to actually watch with me. So let me just filter like there. See, that should be fine with no sound. I hope that's gonna be fine. Let's try. Okay, let's see if we can find it. Dororo second half trailer. Dororo trailer number 2. Is it this one? Yeah, it looks like this one. Okay, so I'm gonna open it and I'm gonna send it to you guys in the chat, and then we can watch it together. There you go, guys. Let's watch. Okay, the sound, the desktop audio is off. I'll make it big like this. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna watch it. I just hope this video doesn't get the freaking stream deleted. But I mean, it's faded so much and has no sound. They honestly can't delete this. Okay, there we go. Wait, is this the second half trailer or is this just the second trailer? It's the second half trailer? What am I watching? Oh no, this is just the second trailer, right? No, this is just the second trailer? Are we watching the right thing? I don't care that I'm watching it again. I just like the music. The music is so good. Ah! Okay. No, this doesn't look like it, but it's fine. I like watching it anyway. Dororo Season 2 trailer. Okay, it's this one. Dororo Episode 13 preview plus new trailer. Dororo, where? Second course trailer. Okay, let's try it. Dororo second course trailer. Second course. Okay, Dororo 2019 second course PV. Here it is! I'm going to share it. It is this, but it only has 2,000 views, so I don't know why. Oh, is this it? Let's see. Yeah. If you go to Dororo Twitter page, it's the first post. Okay, so let's see if we can find it on Twitter first. I don't know Dororo has a Twitter page. An official one, like a Dororo. Is it this one? Oh, so this is the video. Okay, so share, copy link to tweet. Okay. Okay. Let's watch it. Try again. So it's a tweet. Okay, who's gonna watch with me? Are you gonna play with me or should I just play? I'm just gonna play. Wait, I'm just gonna make sure I'm still live. Oh, Otako Master is watching with. Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. Buffering. There we go. Okay, new song. Whoa! Oh, who's this? Oh, probably just a new character. So many new characters! Oh. So good, guys! I'm so excited for Dororo. Shark! Yeah, their DB is only -1.8. Really good soundtrack though. Yeah, the song is good. It doesn't give me the same feels that the first song did. But I mean that's to be expected. I liked it and I'm excited for it. Let's see what some of the comments say, but the comments are probably in Japanese. Oh my god, this cute two people. Thank you very much. Good, thank you a lot. I want to see this part. Endless video cut off. Oh, so cute. Thank you for the wonderful video. Follow me. Moe distribution from the official is really wonderful. Thank you for following. Have been a follower of. Wow, okay. You know they're taking a week off, so there's no episode this Monday. Yes, I do know that. Yakumaru was speaking normally. Yeah, he probably practiced. I'm looking forward to see. I wonder if there will be like a time skip, like a maybe, you know, not like a big one, not like 10 years, but like a year later or something. More demon kills, more Yakumaru speaking, and more hating Daigo, please kill him. Yeah, that's actually what I wanted to talk about in this review. Not review, excuse me. I think I'll leave the chat up for a bit. Oopsie, not that. I'll leave the chat up for a bit. I wanted to talk about, and it may be quite a long while that I'm going to talk about this because it's definitely a subject that I'm very interested in because it deals with ethics. And there's no right or wrong, but there is a better and worse, I think, personally. And yeah, I'm gonna actually open the video because the last video that I had some really great comments, and I would love to read through those comments. So yeah, actually, if you guys are keen, you can just sit with me and maybe hear out some of these people's thoughts, because some people that share their thoughts in these videos, in my videos in the comment section, are amazing, and sometimes I feel like, oh my god, you need to have a YouTube channel because you're saying this so much better than I could, but whatever. Let's see. I should have took screenshots of the ones I specifically wanted to read, but let's just read through a few. Let's start with this one. If only, okay, this is from Yue Q. If only Daigo acted a bit more like Nui and showed a bit of remorse, I'll be like, okay, maybe he thinks about his people. But no, he's just a coward relying on the demons just because he's weak and a bad leader, unlike Tahomaru, who showed his valor of confronting the ghoul to save the villagers. Daigo not only sacrificed Hyakimaru, but his family, making Tahomaru resent his brother and making his wife suffer the loss of her firstborn. Fuck Daigo and his land, and this land. Hyakimaru deserves a normal life. That's pretty much how I feel. I feel I know some people feel like he did what is good for his people, but and I would have felt at least some pity for him if he at all showed even a hint of remorse or love for his people. But the only love I've seen from his side so far is a love for power. I have not seen I have not once have we seen, in the way that we saw Tahomaru actually care about the people and try and help them. At first, I'm going to admit, I thought it was more like him trying to show his father that he is a man and he can do things. But I admit that it wasn't about that. It was about helping the people that he cares about. And to me, if he can do that, if there are clearly still people suffering, I mean, it's not a perfect land. Yeah, maybe the demons help with the droughts, but the fact that there still are ghouls and stuff, and the fact that Tahomaru, through ingenuitive thinking, could defeat those ghouls, I just feel like there are ways for a country to deal with droughts, and sacrificing your only son to demons is not the proper way to do it. And like I said, if he did it and I saw remorse from him at all, maybe I would have at least felt some pity, but I don't. The thing is, when did he go to the Hall of Hell? While his wife was birthing their child, their first child. What do you think he was gonna offer? He literally rode out to the Hall of Hell while his wife was giving birth. What do you think he had in the back of his mind? Of course he knew what the demons would ask for. What did Rumpelstiltskin ask for? Your firstborn child. That's kind of like the demon-like thing to do, you know? So I just feel like he definitely, you can't build a prosperous and moral country. You can't build anything really on evil foundations, on immoral foundations. It will come falling down. You may have had 16 years of prosperity in your eyes, but like I explained it in the review part, it's like having a festering sore and just putting a big sticker over it, and just because you can't see what's going on underneath doesn't mean it's not there. So I just feel like but I'm going to read some more comments here. I had some really good ones. I should have taken screenshots. Jacques Tan said, Daigo sacrificed his own son to make a deal with demons to make his land prosper. Hyakimaru crawled up to live his life from being extremely disabled at an infant age and disowned by his parents. I believe the deal with the demons wasn't that necessary to save the land when Hyakimaru can survive even his hellish fate. Agreed. I feel like I said, and there's going to be a lot of pauses in this video because that's why I'm writing the blog post. It's already difficult enough for me to get my words out properly. I can't. I can't. What is it saying? Yeah, just what I was saying. There is going to be a lot of pauses because I am trying to word my thoughts properly. I don't want to just blah 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 be emotional and then people just shut off and argue. I don't want it to be about arguing. I want it to be about logically talking about the best decision and the most in the long run. Not just the best decision now, but the best decision to build a country upon. You know, like I said, I don't think you can build a country upon selling a child's body to demons. I don't think you can build anything good on top of something so intrinsically evil. Because you don't only sacrifice your own humanity, but through that evil act, he has now it's like a ripple effect of evil. Now, not only did he sacrifice his own soul and his own humanity, I don't even know how human he was before then, to sell the body of his firstborn child to demons, but his own evil actions are now making Tahomaru is now more forced to make those same decisions just because his father before him made that decision, you know? This is quite a long but a good comment. Let's read through it. I remember reading some of this. And I believe most of us have overlooked something critical. Oh, this is from Deya4568. Most of us have overlooked something critical when concerning the deal Daigo made with the 12 demons. A YouTuber briefly spoke of this when giving his review of episode 12. I'll start by asking, what do we know of the demons in the world of Dororo? What do we know concerning the deals that they make? Jukai from episode 3 gave us a clue. He said, demons don't just eat people. At times, they delude humans and lend them their powers. They let a person benefit from their supernatural powers, but in return, they take something away. Now, when we first hear this in episode 3, many of us just assumed it was Hyakimaru who was taken, and of course that would be correct. However, what if there's a double meaning in those words? What if there is more to the deal we are aware of, which I'm 100%, you don't just give something to a demon once. You don't just give something once and then you're happy for the rest of your life. It's like, you know, loan sharks or something. You're always trapped. Like, they don't just take once, they keep draining and draining. They take as much as you that they can. You know, they make you almost, it's like a drug dealer. They make you kind of dependent on them. What if Jukai specifically stated that the demons delude humans? Delude. The definition of delude is to deceive. How did the 12 demons deceive Daigo? The only thing that makes any sense right now is that they could themselves have created the disasters, the drought, in order to drive Daigo to make the deal at all. Once the deal was they basically tricked him. They were actually the cause of the drought, for example, so that they could use his lust for power to trick him into giving them his firstborn son. To me, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, it doesn't have to be that way. I'm just saying it does. I understand the logic behind it. But once again, drought is also kind of part of life. It's like day and night, wet and dry, up and down. Like there's always two sides to every coin. You can't just have prosperity and think you've lived a full life. Once the deal was complete, all they needed to do was to stop the very disasters they themselves had created. The point I'm trying to make is that we never really asked ourselves the most important question: did the demons deal fairly with Daigo, and do they ever deal fairly with humans they make deals with? This is very important since it will tell us if Daigo's deal with the demons and his efforts to kill Hyakimaru are all in vain. Let's explore the train of thought by asking the right questions. What if the demons orchestrated the calamities that was destroying Daigo's land? What if they wanted to push Daigo to the point of losing his faith in his god, which I don't ever think really he had any faith, because just the person that they showed him to be, he was, I've never seen him cared about his people even once. I just saw him be, you know, that war god, like I am the strongest and I have claimed this land through whatever. We saw this happening with the monk from episode 1. He was beginning to lose faith due to the severity and length of the disasters. What if the goddess of mercy is the deity who is actually blessing Daigo's land and not the demons? We understood in the beginning that the goddess of mercy saved Hakimaru when he was a baby. We've also learned that the goddess of mercy was preventing demons from passing the wall in episode 12. Oh, we've also learned that the goddess of mercy was preventing the demons from passing the wall in episode 12. Oh, I didn't realize that, or I was a little bit confused about the green. Yeah, I didn't have all of the answers, but I find it interesting that most of us failed to hone in on the demons and how they actually handle making deals with humans. We cannot make big boy comments here or we get muted for spam. What is big boy comments? Just because you're trying to build your land does not give you the right to curse it. A country founded on evil is not noble. Yeah, like, it doesn't even matter whether it's noble or not. I just don't think, like, you're gonna get very far, you know? Your people aren't gonna prosper for as long as you think that they are, and the prosperity in itself is not. Like, imagine if you got food every single day of your life. You were never ever hungry. Imagine if you one day found out that the food that you were eating every day and living off of was actually innocent people walking by, and then your dad catches them and chops them up and makes them food for you. You know, would you want to keep eating that every day? Wouldn't you rather not? That's just my personal opinion. And in a similar way, this is an example that I learned in philosophy when I had philosophy. So imagine a sheriff in a town, and there were two like very rich families, or they were the most prominent families, and the one family's dog was killed with some kind of arrow or whatever. The dog was killed, and since these two families they feud quite often, and they often have these fights. Let's say this family blamed this family because they saw one of the kids walk by with a bow, and now they said, okay, arrow, bow, you guys are guilty. So they start fighting with each other, and they start like this little war, okay? And so, and it's big families. I'm not like and some innocent people get caught up between this war between these two families, and like, let's say this family tries to poison the water source for this family, but then other people died also because of them trying to poison this water source, whatever. So they're fighting in all these ways because they blame them, and they say they're innocent, and and they want justice, and they say they're not guilty, and the fight continues. So now you're the sheriff, and you want your town to be peaceful. You want your town to be prosperous. So you go to a new person. He just moved into town. He bought a house. He moved into town, and you go up to his house, and you pin the whole thing on him, and you just say, I found the culprit. You plant some evidence, and you say, I found the culprit. This is the guy that killed your dog, not them. We're going to prosecute him. We're going to put him in. We're going to kill him, and then you guys can stop fighting because your justice has been served. One life, his life, or the dog's life, whatever. He's the culprit. So you plant the evidence, and you prosecute and kill this innocent man, but you don't know him, and you tell yourself, well, it's fine because I'm killing this one innocent guy, but I'm stopping the fight, and in the end it'll save my town, and it'll save many other people, because in this crossfire between these two families, a lot of other people are getting hurt and dying, and I just want that to stop. So I'm gonna take this innocent man, I don't know who he is, I'm gonna kill him. And the fight stopped, and they're happy because their justice has been served, whatever. They don't care anymore because they never killed the dog anyway. And life continues, and everyone's happy, and no one is fighting, and no one is getting hurt or dying, and he sacrificed the one guy's life and many other people benefited from that. So one guy died, but I mean, one innocent guy died, but I mean, I saved a lot of people. My town is doing well now. The families are working together. We're prospering. Woo! What the fuck is that? That's ridiculous. That is immoral. Like, what the fuck? How can you build a town? You can say, like the people, oh, but he saved so many lives. Daigo did the right thing. What would you have done? For one child's life, it's not that big of a sacrifice to make for all those people. Fucking easy for you to say because you're not there, but what if you were that innocent man? Because you might be, your life may be less worth than 5 other people. So now next time the sheriff kills you, because killing you would make them happy, so then because their lives are worth more than yours, so they just kill you to, you know, you're the, I don't know what you want to call it. So I just don't understand these arguments that people say, oh, but one life isn't that much to sacrifice for the lives of many. Okay, if you want to sacrifice your life for others, that's your decision. But you can't make that decision for other people. You can't take it upon yourself. Like, to me, like I said, there's no right and wrong. It's not fucking gravity. There's no rule book that says this is right, this is wrong. But do you really want to live in a society which says we'll kill one person if it saves 10 others? So if it saves 10 other people, I'm going to kill your baby because those 10 people will survive because of it. Do you really want to live in a society where that's the rule? No. And, well, I wouldn't. And to me, that says that clearly, if you wouldn't want to live in a society where someone can just take your baby to save 2 other people, because 2 lives are clearly worth more than 1, if you don't want to live in a society where that's the okay thing to do, then it shouldn't be okay for Daigo to do it. Well, is gravity truly a fact? Well, if I jump off a bridge, I'm gonna fall. So it's some kind of, it proves the point that I'm trying to make here. There's no law that says what is right and what is wrong in the same way that there is a law that says if I jump off the roof, I will fall. This is why you need to watch Neon Genesis Evangelion. I will watch it eventually. Just don't kill dogs. That's really the only rule, and it's not that difficult. Well, what if killing the dog saves 10 other dogs? Like, let's say you have to kill your dog, and then it saves 10 other people's dogs. Would you want to do that? Would you take off your dog's skin and limbs and eyes, and then he just has to live as this little, and then, you know, take this little skinned dog that you have and put it in a basket and send it down the river to die? But it's okay because you would save that person's dog, which is gonna die anyway, but you save that person's dog, you know, so they get a little bit longer to live, but your dog has to live as a skinless, limbless nothing, and you have to, like, just throw it down the river. Otaku Master, moral dilemma. If your family depends on you to survive, does killing the only one that can save another family be justified because that man stands in the way of your justice? What is justice if it takes evil to obtain it? And then there is no justice at all. Like, to me, what anime is this? What episode is the latest fairy tale? I know it's 302, but what episode is that for the final season? I think 25. Let me just double check. 25. No, just don't do it. Don't kill dogs. If someone is trying to kill dogs, then stop them. You just save all the dogs. It's not always possible, but you always have to try. Exactly. You can't, like, if there are dogs dying, if there are people dying, you always try and save as many as you can. Like, you always try and do, you know, save them in a way that saves as many dogs as you can. But you don't sacrifice one dog to save dogs that are dying from famine, you know? Like, imagine you have 10 dogs and now you're in a desert and you and your 9 dogs are dying of thirst and hunger. So now, okay, this is so crazy. I don't even want to think about this. But like now you have to choose a dog to feed to the other dogs to prolong their lives. But if the dog comes up to you and says, "Eat me," or well, if there were just dogs and they were all like, dogs would probably become carnivorous and eat each other, right? But then you become, that's animal. Like, we're not animals, and quite simply put, we're humans. We can think of things in the same way that I believe Tahomaru thought of a way to defeat that crab monster and didn't sacrifice someone to the crab monster to get it to stop or whatever. In the same way that like, I think we should, to the furthest of our abilities, think of ways to justly to bring justice about, and not fight evil with more evil, because it just creates more evil. In the same way that Daigo's evil decision now is forcing Tahomaru to become less moral himself. And it's like a slippery slope. The more, like, Daigo's decision caused Tahomaru to now also make a similar bad decision. Obviously not as evil as his father. It's easier to say, okay, well, it's already happened. I just now need to keep doing it. My father did it, but it's easier to just say, okay, let's keep doing it because my dad says it's the right thing to do. So now it's like, that's his morals are literally wavering. So it's just gonna keep like wavering. If you make immoral decisions, those that look up to you will make immoral decisions because they justify it, because the one I looked up to saw it as the best decision, so clearly it has to be. So you end up not doing the right thing because that's why it's so important. People in leadership positions have more of a responsibility than the rest of us to make good decisions and to think about their actions and to come up with the most just, not just the most just, but just that's the same thing, right? Just decisions. Oh god, dead dogs eating each other. Zombies, Dororo, what the fuck? I cut off my own arm and feed it to the dogs, then I kill myself and let the dogs eat me. I will save all the dogs. Like, that's one thing. Deciding to sacrifice yourself to save others is completely different than you taking authority over a life, another life, and saying your life is worth less than these lives. And even though it's natural for, you know, fucking a drought is like a part of, like, it's like saying, and I already talked about this, people die because of old age. Like, most people don't live these days past the age of 100. But now, let's say you're a good leader and you feel like, oh shit, I still actually have a few things to do. So now the Grim Reaper comes to your door and says, knock knock, it's time to go. You're 100 years old, you can't live anymore, it's your time. And then you say, but wait, I'm a good leader. I'm leading these people into a better life. I'm creating so much opportunity for them. I can't die now. I have so much more I need to do for them. So take my firstborn child, take his nose and his skin and his hearing and his body. Take everything for yourself, but give me 10 more years to live. You can say, oh, okay, it's okay because that's just one life that I'm sacrificing. Because I'm doing good things. I'm taking care of my people. I'm giving them opportunities. I'm showing them how to build crops. But then you sacrifice your son to prolong your own life. That's not fair. That's not right. Drought is a part of nature. If people die because of a drought, like, you can't then say it's okay to sacrifice a child's life to prolong, because death is part of life. If you can't outthink it, if you can't find a way to help your people through a drought, that doesn't make it okay for you to then sacrifice a child to prolong people's lives, because it's not just. It's just not. Otaku Master, let's move on. This is, guys, I said to you in the beginning that I want to talk about this because I'm writing a blog about it. So I don't want to just move on. This was gonna be I talked about the other things, the Promised Neverland, Quintessential Quintuplets, because I wanted to spend the majority of the stream talking about this. So, in the future, please don't ask me to move on from a topic until I choose to move on from the topic. Of course, if you don't want to listen to the topic, then you can always come back later, but where was I? Ah, here. I still want to go through some comments. There are still some really good comments. Oof. Wait, let me show you guys. I'm just going through some of the comments now. I'm trying to find some of the ones I put a heart on so that I can show you or read it to you guys. Oh my gosh, here in the replies, someone was like arguing with me, but they were arguing about things that I've already said in the review. And it frustrates me so much when like I have to make the exact stuff that I said in the review, I have to now retype. Damien Rousseau says, humanity has survived a lot. Humanity has achieved a lot. We are creatures that persevere in adversity. I believe that the land of Daigo would have gone through many serious things, but it would have survived, and thanks to the struggle, it would have grown stronger. The goddess of mercy to whom Nui prays exists. Her power is real. She protected Hyakimaru. In many works of fiction, negative supernatural beings often give us easy ways to escape our problems and blind us to other possible solutions. They need us, not us them. That was quite interesting for me to think. The demons needed Daigo, and not Daigo didn't need the demons, you know? So building on the argument that the other person said, it could be, for example, that, and even if it wasn't, but it could have been like the demons created this illusion of, not illusion, but they created the drought or whatever because they knew Daigo couldn't come up with something to save his people, so they basically deluded him into choosing evil, right? And then it makes me wonder whether that's true or not. Even if they didn't do, he just went to them, I'm wondering, did the demons need, were they already alive, or did they need Daigo's sacrifice of Hyakimaru's body parts to come out of those stone things and, you know, come into the real world? That's what I'm wondering. Like, remember, Daigo gave his son, and then then the baby was born without everything, okay? And then I think that old man, didn't he defeat the one demon, and then Hyakimaru got something back, right? I don't remember what it was. Didn't he? But my point is, the demons, were they physical before Daigo gave them Hyakimaru, or were they in stone, and then Hyakimaru defeats them and takes back his body, and they return to being just stone? So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Daigo offering Hyakimaru to them is what gave them the power. Like, they need human flesh to become to enter the real world themselves. Like if you think about what a lot of movies these days are talking about, they're talking about different dimensions, and they could be from the demon dimension, and the only thing that keeps them alive in this dimension is people. I mean, there's a hole of hell. Why is there a hole of hell? Maybe people are praying to demons. People are calling to the demons to help them when they can't take care of things themselves and they don't trust God anymore. Maybe just by just like, you know how you have to believe in fairies, like in Peter Pan, you have to believe in the fairies for them to exist. In the same way, I wonder if, like, the demons are from, like, this demon dimension, and the only thing that keeps them linked to our dimension is people's belief and call to them, right? But they're not physical, so they need human flesh to become physical. So I'm just wondering, did Daigo offering Hyakkimaru actually give them the power they needed to come into the real world? Matty says, I agree, so they ain't dead, just imprisoned in stone after Hyakkimaru defeats them. Yeah, I think that's possible. Like, I wonder, I'm just wondering, like, because clearly a spirit can have an effect on a world. Maybe they influenced, but like they became physical, and I don't think they were physical before, you know? Hi Twiley, how are you? Some demons were already in the world when he was born, the others got out. How many? Remember there were like, in the original anime, there were like 50 demons or something, but it's less now. But also, there's definitely a difference. There's definitely a difference between demons and ghouls. Like, ghouls are just like monsters. There are monsters in the world, and not all of them are necessarily, excuse me, not all of them are necessarily bad. Oof. Twiley, I think maybe too many messages means that other people can't get their thoughts in about the anime that we're talking about. Spirits are certainly real in this world. Hyakkimaru can see the spirits inhabiting that wall, so you can even get haunted objects. Yeah. What was I talking about before the messages? What was I talking about? Some demons were already in the world when yeah, oh, so there are demons and then there are ghouls. So ghouls can be either good or bad. Like, ghouls aren't necessarily bad. I think, like, if I remember, or not ghouls, maybe like ghouls, monsters, demons. I don't know what the separation is, but I remember that lady, the spider lady, that was a monster, but she wasn't evil necessarily. Like, she, to keep living, she drained some life force from people, but she never killed them. And like, she kind of, I think she gave them a little bit of pleasure while doing so. But anyway, so she's like not necessarily evil, but she's not a demon. Like, she's a monster in the same sense that, I don't know, she's like a humanoid, but I guess I need to understand the difference between, okay, demons and ghouls, I understand the difference between. Like, that crab monster was a ghoul, but he wasn't a demon, I think, as far as I know, because Hyakkimaru didn't get anything back after that. Because they make it quite obvious when he does get something back, because you can see he gets, like, he either, it like, when your fucking skin grows back, like, it hurts. I don't know, if it grows back so drastically quickly. So I think I need to understand the difference between, I understand the difference between demon and ghoul, but then that spider lady, was she a ghoul? Was she a monster? Was she a, because to me, it was that episode was put in there to remind us that demons and ghouls or monsters are something different, and not all monsters, just because they're different from us, are necessarily evil, you know? Huh? I did. Goodbye, cruel world. Didn't you say the other day that you were dead too? What happened? I feel curtailed in the conversation. What does curtailed mean? Isn't it curtailed? Is it curtailed? Curtail. Reduce in extent or quantity. Impose a restriction on. It's curtail. I knew that. I think she was a ghoul, and demons are true evil. Like, yeah, like, you know how the green is goodness, and that's why I talked about this kind of a spectrum from pure evil to God, and then humans and ghouls and monsters, whatever, they fall somewhere on that scale, and we can move up and down. But I feel like there is gods, which is maybe that god of mercy, and then there's evil. Like there are these two extents, and then there's a spectrum on which we can fall on and move up and down on. And it was interesting for me also. One question that I could ask you guys is, let's say this is, let's say this side of the screen, the pink side, is God, pure goodness, you know, holiness. And this side, the blue side of the screen, this is pure evil. So there's a spectrum of good and evil. And like, because I don't care what the Bible says. I don't think all sin is equal. I don't see lying to me as the same kind of evil than, I don't know, killing my mom. Like, lying to me is different. Like, lying to me, if you lie to me, I might, depending on what the lie is as well, not just the lie itself, but depending on what the lie is, that is not as bad as, for example, stealing $100,000 from me. I don't have $100,000, but I prefer if you'd lie to me than steal my money, you know? But also depending on what the lie is. Like, I don't see all sin as equal. So let's say if you see all sin as equal, then you may not be able to be part of this conversation, because this conversation is built on the concept that not all sin is equal. So let's say this is pure evil and this is pure good. Where on this scale, you can even talk about like, where on this scale would what kind of things fall? Like lying about this would be about here, but lying about this would be about here. Sacrificing your child to demons would be about, I don't know, there. Like, where do you forgive? Like, where is it too far? Like, here on, it's easy to forgive someone that did something that's here on the scale. It's a little more difficult to forgive someone that did something that's here on the scale. Where is it too far? Where do you stop being just a bad person and start, it's almost too evil to forgive, you know? Lying and murder are two different things, and in terms of modern biblical interpretation, I think that's also accurate, but Old Testament seems to hold that belief that all sin is equal. I'm agnostic, so I don't give a fuck. I'm agnostic too, so I'm just trying to use an example. And I know I think some religions just believe in the Old Testament, so I'm sure that there are a lot of beliefs that and from the churches that I've been to, they operate according to the belief that all sins are equal, and it's all as easily forgiven as long as you truly feel sorry for what you did. So I don't believe in that. I think it's easier to forgive some sin than others, and some people that do things to me, that have done things to me, I can maybe forgive you, but that doesn't mean I'm going to allow you back into my life. It all depends on what you did. I don't see everything as equal. That's what I'm trying to say. And I don't think most of us should see everything as equal. But yeah, I'm just wondering, like, imagine, like, where on this scale, from this end to this end, where is it too far? Where do we stop thinking, oh, this person can be forgiven? Where does a person literally become a demon? Is it even possible, you know? To some extent, I almost don't think it's possible, because I don't think it's impossible for Daigo, for example, to admit to his own lack of good decisions and at least feel some kind of remorse from Hyakimaru. And even though Hyakimaru would have no, it's not like he should forgive him, but he could come to terms with the fact that at least, you know, he resents it. He resents himself, or he feels guilty about it, or, you know, some form of that. Anyway, and I believe that even a person that did something so bad can feel sorry about it and then choose to make better decisions in the future. And although I don't think that your soul will ever really be the same after doing something that bad, in the same way that Hyakimaru, for example, after killing humans, remember that old man said, be careful you don't become a demon yourself, or you lose your humanity or whatever. The moment that you kill, even if it's like in Hyakimaru's case, he wasn't saving Mio after that point anymore. That's the difference. He wasn't saving her. She was already dead. He was killing them out of rage, and whether they deserved it or not is not even the point. What I'm trying to say is Hyakimaru's soul itself suffered after killing in that way, you know? And that's an example of where that kind of the murder that he showed in, like, or that, because he murdered those people, but that murdered innocent children and Mio, so whose murder would you say is worse on this scale? Hyakimaru, yeah, he killed people, even though it was just their job to kill. I can at least say I would easier forgive Hyakimaru than I would forgive those people for killing those children, you know? It's a little bit easier. Let's say this is the difference. Now, think about the lords that are orchestrating this war and telling these, like, this is Hyakimaru, who killed them, this is where they are on the scale, who killed those kids, and where are the lords that are orchestrating the war and telling these people, their samurai, to go burn villages, pillage and kill and da-da-da-da-da. Because these samurais are hired, right? So yeah, they're doing the evil things and they're being paid to do it. But what about these people? Where do they fall on the list? The ones that are the cause of the war and everything that's happening. So I feel like there's definitely a root cause of all the evil, and somewhere you have to fix it. Because otherwise, if it's like, if Daigo makes the evil decision, then the next one makes an evil decision, and that it just creates more evil in the world. Because of these lords that are warring, they pay these samurais to burn villages and do whatever. So now because of them, they're doing evil things. And now Hyakimaru, to avenge Mio and the kids, kills these guys. So now his soul is tainted because of what they did, And now, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if you make evil decisions because you feel, oh, it's for justice, it's for my people, even when it really wasn't. It doesn't matter what justification you use. That's like I said, a slippery slope. It just keeps getting worse. Michael says, I believe that evil is subjective for everyone. Of course, there is the right and wrong who determines it, religion and political perceptions. Yeah, but all of that, religion and politics and law, they are just rules made to protect its people, right? That's why we have to make sure that those laws are just and fair. Otherwise, society will just turn into a jungle where the strongest person gets everything, you know, the one that can fight and defeat the others. It almost is kind of like that these days in many countries, but Carmenon says, not true evil, since it was for the betterment of thousands of lives at the expense of a single life. Their lives outweigh the one if it is something that has to happen. If you say so. I don't believe that, but okay. Multiple lies can lead to tainted individuality, in my opinion. If you're a compulsive liar, I would say you're spiritually corrupted. If you lie here and there, you're just human. To kill absentmindedly, I would say, is an error in humanity. To kill willingly and willfully is cruel, and I think you've fallen into a demonic existence. I relate. But yeah, I definitely do not agree with Daigo's decision to sacrifice his son's life to save others, because first of all, it wasn't to save others, it was just to save his own status and place in society. Yeah, like I said before, I don't believe you can build any kind of society, except a corrupt one, on evil actions. And like I think Otaku Master said earlier, it's basically like cursing your own land and your own people. Because, like, and I'm sure the anime will prove this for us. You cannot do something evil and expect to be happy for the rest of your life. You will suffer. Suffering is part of life. You can do evil things to try and prevent it for as long as you can, but that will catch up with you. And you will probably suffer even more after cheating the initial suffering. You will just, you end up just prolonging the suffering or like putting it off a little bit, and it'll end up being worse when you then eventually have to face whatever challenge you were meant to face. Plus your soul itself will then be corrupted. Your soul itself, you will have had to do, or you will have had done evil things to prevent suffering, but then you have to face the suffering and challenges in your life anyway, and then not only do you have to face it, you have to face it with a corrupt soul. So then you're just going to keep making evil decisions to try and evade and prevent suffering, and you just end up making yourself worse and worse and worse. Death is death. Murder is murder. Murder is not justice. But at the same time, to kill for nothing more than pride or ego or hatred or some form of evident evil, that is much worse as well. Don't. Yeah, I like what you said there, Otaku Master. Sorry for not reading your full message right now. But the stream is already 2 hours and 21 minutes, and I kind of wanted to keep it under, like, more or less 2 hours. But I like what you said there. Death is death. Murder is murder. And that kind of falls into my concept of this scale, this spectrum, whatever, of evil. Like, dying is part of life. Murder doesn't have to be. Michael, Katie, you must read The Concept of Evil. It's very interesting and educational. The link is there. Okay, I'll do that. Hi, Krellman. Okay, so I'm gonna end the podcast here. And then, but I'm gonna end the podcast so that I can cut it for YouTube. But for those of you that are live with me on Twitch, stick around. Maybe we can watch something before I need to go. Maybe something short, maybe an episode of Oran or something. Okay, so for everyone watching on YouTube, thank you guys so much for being here. Obviously, the conversation is not ended. It's not concluded. That there's no right and wrong, and this is it. It was just a conversation, and if you want to keep having that conversation, share your thoughts in the comment section down below. I am working on that blog post, and the more I think about it, the bigger it is, and the more difficult it is to actually sit down and do, because it is such a what's the word? Complicated concept. But really, it doesn't have to be. I don't think it really has to be, because for me, it just feels like there is goodness and there is badness and there is evil, and we need to make as good decisions as we can without corrupting ourselves, you know? And that's it for today. For YouTube, thank you guys again. I'll see you in the next podcast, in the next video. Thanks for being here, and don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section down below. Bye!